What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Could you please like the video? I'd appreciate it if you can get the likes up there to at least 100 likes, and I will get the ball rolling here in about a minute. Hope you're all having a good Monday morning. Hope you all had a good weekend. Just go ahead and like the video. There's 130 in here with 40 likes. Let's get it up to 100 likes here. Twenty more likes. Come on, there's 150 in here. Let's get to 100 likes and we'll start this live stream here. I know it's redundant and over again, but it helps push the video out. We'll go through the list. Good morning, Oki, Alex, Conway, Ionis, Crazy Yeti. Good morning. Good to see you. Cloud Kicker, Igor, Anthony, Kisher, Harris. Good morning. Sabius, Cooking, Christopher. What's up? What's up? Good to see everybody in here. Hope you're all having a good Monday morning, wherever you're at in the world. All right, we're at 109 likes, so that's all I wanted to at least start out the video. If you're just tuning in, again, I would appreciate if you like the videos. It does help the live stream. So let me know if you can see the screen here when I switch it over. Just type a 1 in the chat if you can see it. Yep, cool. All right. So if you watched the weekly forecast from yesterday, I hope you did, because I don't want to go over it all in depth again. Just a short review over what I was thinking and what I'm looking at for the week. We have a few things on the agenda this week. We have CPI tomorrow. We have core PPI on Thursday. So those are bigger news event drivers. Those are things that I'm paying attention to, especially the days before, even the day of, that I'm cautious of, right? You don't want to be trading ahead of CPI typically. There's certain conditions where you can, but this all goes for CPI, FOMC, NFP, those type of news event drivers where it's their major impact, right? You don't want to be trading ahead of that. That's something where you can likely make mistakes, likely get stopped out of positions, stuff like that. So it's the best case scenarios, especially on a Monday with no news event drivers, coming off of NFP, CPI ahead of you. You're kind of sandwiched in the middle of, you're coming off of NFP, you have CPI ahead of you. So the best bet is to probably just sit still and do nothing. I know I'm live streaming, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to be taking a trade today. If something I couldn't resist taking it, where it was, not to say that out of emotions, but simply out of logic, then I would be likely to take a trade. But if anything, I'm willing to sit still and not do anything today, and I'm perfectly content with that. I'm okay with it. So I'm rolling out to the weekly time frame. I was talking about yesterday how there's a few kind of options on the table where the previous week low and the previous week high. If you're starting out the week, you kind of want to look at those two areas and go, all right, which one is it likely to gravitate towards? Because essentially it's a 50-50 shot, right? You can look at it and go, well, which side is it going to gravitate towards? And since we're near the sell side, I would elect to believe that the previous week low would want to be traded to, right? So at this moment in time, gun in my head, I would probably look for the previous week low to be traded to, which when you refine it to lower time frames, that is relative equal low sell side. I forgot to mention last night, I kind of reviewed the live stream, but we're sitting kind of inside of this mean threshold of this bullish order block here. Oops. So this down close candle here is your bullish order block. It still can be used as a reclaimed bullish order block. It's not completely traded through. There's some things that I'm looking at to see if we're really going to seek lower prices from here this month or this week. I discussed it all last night, so if you haven't already, go back to the weekly forecast and do yourself a favor and watch that, because I went in depth to a lot of things. Daily time frame in here, we have the daily inefficiency there. So this is a reclaimed inefficiency, but we've traveled inside of it so many times now to the point where I would be cautious or weary of the idea of continuously looking for long, especially off of the reaction and the closure of last week of the high here. If you're just tuning in, I appreciate if you'd like the video. Let's get the likes up there. Good morning, Tom. Good to see you. So if you look at Friday, we took out the buy side liquidity that was resting here. And we had a nice displacement, drop lower, back into this reclaimed inefficiency. So gun to my head, today, tomorrow, whatever it is, the sell side in here looks pretty decent to look to be ran out. That's at least what I'm looking at currently. We have the 4-hour time frame to refine everything in there. You have this inefficiency there. And you have the one underneath it. So there's a few areas of interest that, if today depends, I could potentially look for a shorting opportunity. I just am weary of the idea of participating today before CPI. So if I don't do anything, again, I'm not really mad or upset. It's pretty normal protocol not to trade before CPI. So especially on Monday with no news event drivers. We talk about patience. We talk about discipline all the time. It's just part of the rules. Part of what you have to do, right? I mean, even last week, coming off of the only trade I took, it was on Wednesday. If I have to wait more days and sit out, I mean, then so be it. I don't care what anybody else says. I mean, taking a trade every single day does not equal success. It does not equal you being a successful trader. Now, if you look at prop firms, I wanted to bring this up. If you look at prop firms and the payouts that they do, and the people who pass challenges and end up getting payouts consistently, their normal trade average is like between 1 to 3 trades a month. Like, think about that. All these people talking about trading every single day and taking multiple trades a day. Well, if you look at statistics, you look at math and what is actually happening through prop firms, majority of the people getting the payouts are taking 1 to 3 trades a month. So really think about that. When anybody else tells you you need to be taking multiple trades in a month or in a week or a day. Just tuning in. If you'd like the video real quick. Looks like not many viewers today. I mean, I'm grateful there's 300, but not typically what I would be anticipating on a Monday. So at least for today and what I'm looking at currently, I would be looking for the sell side to be ran. So we'll see what happens by the silver bullet and what is occurring, but that would be the ultimate draw on liquidity for today, unless something changes, unless I'm looking at something differently. Joseph, I mean, yeah, no, but I've taught everybody how to do that. I can be a swing trader, but also refine my entries down to a 1 minute. I just don't think people really do that. Here's the thing. I think you have to be like a chameleon. I think being able to be adaptive, being able to trade in any condition is such a great skill set. I can trade in almost any condition if I would like, meaning if price is consolidating, it's range bound, it's not giving me these more or less one shot, one kill type of setups, I can still go into the market on a 1 minute time frame within a certain time period and still get a decent scalp in. But what happens is, like compared to last week, like how I had a 50 handle run, that's all I really needed. But if I'm in a condition where price is really not moving that well, I can't really get in there and do those type of one shot, one kill trades, then I'm going to have to do at least 2 to 3 short-term little trades in there to equal 50 handles or more, which I'm able to do. But I used to not be able to do that. And I think being adaptive and being able to be able to either, whether it's swing trading, intraday, one shot, one kill, or even just, hyper scalping where you're doing 15, 20 handle runs on NQ, that's still a skill set. I know how to do all of them, but I would elect to do a one shot, one kill. It's the easiest kind of model for myself. It takes the less amount of mental capital to be inside of. um, to me, it's the most suitable for most people, if that makes sense. Jabbers, I mean, that's just the challenge phase. I'm talking about when somebody moves into a funded stage with a funded account, making real money, getting real payouts. That's typically what they're taking, is 1 to 3 trades a month. Morning, Trevor. Yeah, so I hope you guys do understand that. Like, I'm just trying to draw the point. For a lot of people that ask me, like, why don't I trade every single day? I could. If you put me into a headlock position where I needed to trade every day, I could. I don't know how profitable I would be over a long period of time. It probably wouldn't be great. And that's why I choose to be patient and I choose to elect to wait for a little bit better high quality setups in my eyes. But if I had to, I could. There's a difference between understanding that you can versus you have to, right? Like, I don't have to be in here every single day. I don't have to be trading every single day. I could, if I wanted to force myself to trade every single AM session, PM session, still, London session, I could, but the probabilities of me being profitable would probably not be high. I mean, maybe over a couple weeks, I could see myself being good, but over a long period of time, I just don't see that as a viable option. And you'll learn that either through time and experience, where you're just like, it's not really worth my mental capital to do that. I enjoy life too much to be inside of these charts, addicted. And again, if you're very eager to take a trade today, if you're very eager when you're sitting down on a Monday morning with no news event drivers rolling off of NFP with CPI ahead of you, you have an issue. And I'm not being mean, I'm just being true, and it's reality, is where you need to sit down and understand that it's a lower probability type of day. And this is where most people, they get stopped out and then I can't find success in this trading thing. It's like, well, dude, you're doing the opposite of everything that has been taught and has been guided to you. You're trading in days where it's low probability. You're pushing environments that are low probability, and you ask yourself why you're not profitable. I mean, again, people look at me and they ask, how am I so disciplined? How am I, profitable? Well, I focus on days and environments that I shouldn't be trading in more than in days that I should be trading in. If you took out all the days you should be trading in, if you took out all the losses, you'd probably be profitable, right? Like, I know it sounds stupid, but it is the truth. Yeah, Jabbers. I mean, I don't know about Paladin. I don't really trust him, to be honest with you. But I do trust Jade Cap. And yeah, he's the same way. Isn't the New York session supposed to open an hour? Nope, this is the open. So we have, this is the current new week opening gap there. That's an old new week opening gap. There's a lot of buy side above price. So even though I favor sell side at 1876, I'd like to see what the open does, what you roll into by the morning, or by the silver bonus. I apologize. If you're just tuning in, I appreciate it if you like the video. We're only at 166 likes. There's 400 in here. You should have more beers today. Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. RTH gap in here. So RTH gap is above price, kind of aligning with the buy side above it. So in this instance, how I'd utilize it is if the RTH gap is above price, we have buy side resting here. It would probably be favorable to look at that as an overall draw. And if something really aligned to where I wanted to take a trade, I could. I wouldn't find it. Again, you have to look at the probabilities that we're in. Time of week, time of day. Well, if you didn't miss anything. How can you tell that new week opening gap exists for this week? Well, that's the open of the week. It closed last week. That's the opening price. O'Day, appreciate you. As far as private details, I'll release all that on Friday. I'm not going to talk about it throughout the week. It's just going to be redundant. Do I use previous RTH gaps? I mean, you could definitely use the previous day or a couple days. I've only heard ICT talk about where you can utilize maybe 3. I don't want to go beyond that really. So just initial thoughts on what I'm looking at is it would be interesting to see if buy side wants to be taken to then drop it to sell side, which is at 1876. What's RTH gap? Regular trading hours. So you see the highs, they're pretty relatively clean, smooth. Any smooth edges will be made jagged. So, in my opinion, that looks like the first draw on liquidity. And happens before silver bullet. Oh no. Like, there's always going to be a trade setup in the silver bullet. You never have to fear missing things. And I'm particularly not really eager to trade today. So, something would have to really meet my eye in order to press. Christopher, ICT higher time frame candles. Thank you, Syed. Thank you, Will and Oki, for answering questions. I appreciate it. So what do I have marked out here? This is the 1 hour inversion as well. So overall, I'm looking for lower prices today, right? I'm looking for the sell side to be tagged. That's overall what I'd be looking at, but you also have to look at intraday. What would price be trying to do? It may want to run buy side to then drop to sell side. That could be an option. It may just run right to sell side in here. It may just do that. So you just have to be able to discern it, figure out what's happening. That's why I like waiting for the silver bullet, because silver bullet, by then I have enough information. Time's done the work for me to figure out what it wants to do. Tom, I had a good weekend. I appreciate it. I didn't do a whole lot. To be honest with you, I've been prepping for this group So I don't want to talk about it because there's going to be a bunch of questions, but well, Wolf, that's, you know, time of week, time of day. What, like, it's you're trading off of CPI coming in. You're trading off of NFP coming into CPI. That's a profile in and of itself to be aware of and be low probability. Like, I talk about this all the time, but then people ignore the advice and they just like, oh, well, the model doesn't work. I don't get it. It's like, what? It's everything that surrounds that idea. '31st birthday myself, Tom. Very good, very good. Good to hear. Happy early birthday, if I forget. Yes, Cooking the Cow. This is my last week publicly doing this for free. No, I'm not going to be posting any more content. I really just don't want any more questions over until the end of the week. So please, just refrain from asking questions. Oh, it's your Tom. I'm so out of it. Happy birthday, my friend. It's funny. Like, I'll look at the chat and I'll just glance at it. Like, it's if I don't read it in depth, then I probably misread it. Akbar, no, it's probably just the time change that's throwing everybody off. Well, this is the open. Anybody get you a banana? What's up, Nico? I don't think I saw you on Friday. Europe and UK start at the end of the month. Interesting. Joseph, I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I see he's talked about the time change and daylight savings, how it can affect the market. So that's something you need to be aware of as well. Just kind of like the timing of things. Is YouTube money not good? No, it's not. Not for the information and the value I provide. No. If you're just tuning in, I appreciate if you like the video. There's 500 of you in here with 200 likes. Yeah, jabbers. I mean, if you looked, I've made in the last 2.5 months, I've made less than basically $400 on YouTube. Like, it's nothing. What time frames? What's up, Tom? Verga. What time frames do you use to determine bias? Every single one. Yeah, I feel like everybody's kind of off on their time. Am I off on my time? I don't think so. No, it's on time. I know the time change is throwing everybody off. Maybe that's why there's a little less viewers today. be adjustment, yeah. Before adjustment. I mean, I'm not going to go into the conversation of it because it's a large topic. All you need to know is I have mine on, and that's all I'm going to leave it at. It's a large discussion that adjusts the contracts between continuous, not continuous, rollovers, not rollovers. I have it on. There's no clear answer on it. Marco, that's all right, man. I mean, hopefully you'll I'll see you in the private group. Did you take coffee today? Yep, I just got coffee. I got nicotine. Life is good. Honestly, I didn't know that was a thing for the entire world. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not really too intrigued. What's up, Jack? I'm not too interested right now in anything. I mean, again, for those who are just joining, it's the day before CPI, the day after NFP. You're on a Monday with no economic news driver events. So understand the profile for the week, understand where you're at. Those already are telling you it's not high probability, right? So you have to be wary of these things and cautious. If you try to push inside environments that are already labeled low probability, well, obviously you're doing yourself a disservice. M7, yeah. Syed, yeah, that'll be fine. M7, yeah, I'll post the video on YouTube. As I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of questions throughout the whole week. I really don't want to make it my focus this week. I just want to teach and do my thing. So please just leave it for Friday, all right? I promise you it's not going anywhere. It'll be here Friday, and I'll have a whole video over it. Twitter will know about it. You'll be fine. If you go down to 1 minute, I mean, it's just slop. Like, again, this is not something you want to push inside of. I mean, inefficiency here, you can see an inversion to the left of you. I'm just annotating price. So if you take this literal and think I'm doing something with it, it's not the point. I want to see coming into the silver bullet. I mean, we're inside of the macro currently. So I want to see if we can trade down on the sell side and if we can trade at 1876. If I don't even take a trade today on that, I'm still okay with that. You have to realize that there's times where even if the day is low probability, it's labeled that, and you can see it draw liquidity and you don't take a trade, that's fine. There's always another trade, man. That's not being me fearful or scared to take a trade. It's just me following logic. I mean, on the flip side, you could easily take a loss on a day like today where you're not supposed to be trading. So I just see a clear draw on liquidity right now. I see where price would want to draw towards. I have to see if the delivery is clear. Exactly, Tom. I'm getting the feel for the market. I'm getting my reps in. I'm getting in sync with it. What is this here? That would be a mitigation block, not a breaker. Why? Because the mitigation block a breaker would need to go above this previous high here. It'd be a high, lower low, higher high, then a lower low. But this is just a high, low, meets the high again, drops lower. That's a mitigation. What macro is that? That's the before the silver bullet macro, like the 950 to 1010. It's 9:53 New York local central time right now. It is 8:53 central time right now. I don't know if people are just messed up on their times or what. Rahiro? All right, man. That's awesome. I mean, Jabbers, that's the difference, though, between narrative, right? That's why I talk about it and harp on it a lot. Like, just because you see sell side swept and there's an OTE with a bullish or rally gap, if the narrative is bearish on higher time frames, that's the parent narrative. It's going to override anything on lower time frames. So this is where you're going to get stopped out on lower time frames when you have, a sell side swept. You have the 2022 model, and it doesn't work because narrative is what's outperforming the lower time frames. If the higher time frame wants to seek lower prices, that's ultimately what it's going to do. It's going to run over every single bullish model you have, regardless of what it's done. And that's the reason why I preach it, because you can't just be on a 1 minute look at sell side swept, higher displacement higher, and then fair value gap here and you go long. It's like the narrative is bearish. That's why it's trading through it. Not because of the day with no economic news driver events. It's because the narrative is bearish. It's seeking lower prices. Joseph, I'd probably skip it altogether. Sometimes I'm up early, I have time. I'll read price and just tape read it. I have enough discipline now and patience to where I can sit in front of a live market and I don't feel any emotion to want to enter into the market. And you'll eventually get to that point too. Like, you don't feel like a crackhead sitting here like, I gotta take a trade, I gotta do something. It's like, I'm not influenced by it. So I could very well see somebody trying to sell off of this. Like, this is where these low probability environments, you're gonna get taken out a lot trying to sell short, or trying to long. I'm aware of these conditions. I'm aware of the profile we're in. I'm not gonna take stupid losses. It's dumb. Why didn't I enter off of it? Because it's not really within my time. I'm understanding the profile for the day and the week. Again, this is where I'm not to brag about this. This is where I surpass 90% of other people. I'm aware of the conditions that I'm in. I don't take stupid losses that everybody else takes. I'm able to weed that out of my trading through time and experience. I understand the profile for the day, for the week. What's the protocol? Day before CPI, let alone just that alone, that profile is typically lower probability. What's the day today? It's Monday. With what? No economic news driver events. Rolling off of what? Friday, NFP. With a time change and contract rollovers. There's a lot of variables in here that, again, deem this a low probability environment. So regardless if a model or a fair value gap prints, it doesn't mean that it's valid. You have to understand that. I talk about this a lot. Like, in some of these environments, you all see your entry or your model form, and it doesn't work because if the condition's not right, it's not going to work. I place a lot of emphasis on environments. I place a lot of emphasis on higher time frames, everything else, because that's oversees any entry model you're going to see on a 1 minute time frame. Ricardo, appreciate it. Crazy Eddie, let's see if I can get that down to 3 trades a week for you. And eventually, if I can get it down to 1 for you, I'd be happy. Once you understand that, like last week, I can't emphasize it enough. Like, it's such a liberating feeling to watch everybody squirm around in the mud and work so hard to just get some money when all I had to do is take 1 trade and I outperformed 90% of people. Like, it's such a liberating feeling, and I want all of you to experience that. Like, There's gonna be weeks and times where I can't. I'll take a loss and I have to at least take another trade or two, and I'm fine with that. I have the skill set to do it. But if you're only able to take one trade a week, I mean, again, this goes back to working. Like if you're at a job and your boss told you, "Hey, man, you can work one day this week and get paid the whole week," you'd be like, "Well, shit, yeah. Like, why would I not do that?" But everybody treats trading differently. Nico, yeah, I mean, you don't see me in here, and I try to emphasize it. Like, even look at last week. There's plenty of opportunities. I've been called out 3 other trades where we didn't take it, but yet I'm still able to sit here and be profitable. Like, look at how many trades that I sit out of, but yet I'm still profitable. Like, I want you to lean on that. It's fine. You have to get over that emotion. You have to get over it. That's the only way through. It's going to create a profitable mindset. Is if you're able to sit out of conditions, even if you see it and you're just able to sit still, chill, like it creates discipline within you. Jumping at everything you see all the time, never sitting still. You're never finding that. And I'm also looking at the risk reward. The only thing I can really see in this probability environment is I really wouldn't enter off the inversion, let alone. And only thing I can really see, that's the markets. You have to realize sometimes after a large range day that we've had, that's 40 handles. But I'm also looking at the risk. Let's say you entered on that fair value gap. My risk, I'm at, that's 30 handles of risk on a day where I'm not really confident in it. It's just, I'm looking at the risk reward. Some people may sit here and they may be like, "You're stupid. You're not entering into trades." That's fine. I'm the one who's profitable, not to brag or boast, but I know what I'm doing. And people say here all the time, "You're not taking a trade. You just talk, blah, blah, blah." It's like, whatever, it's fine. But I'm trying to teach all of you that you can be patient. You can elect to sit out of setups, even if you see it, and you'll still be fine. I promise you. Nico, that's awesome, man. It's commendable, and I wish you the best of luck. Take over the reins. But I promise you, it's not that fun. It's not all glamorous as you think. You'll probably have deep empathy and understanding what I've gone through. It's not fun. It's perfect. Love the mindset. I know it's a joke, but it's great. Is that so? Yes. I'm not talking about that, Nick. I'm just talking about dealing with live streaming. It's a lot of energy. John? Yep. It's probably one of my favorite videos of Michael. Let's see if I can find it. It's hilarious. Not a video, but it's a Twitter space. Vago? Do I? believe I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, but Jose. Most valuable thing I've learned about this channel is how to manage mental capital. I did not understand this before. Now I execute properly in the right time. Awesome. I hope that's the main thing you get from this, not the signals, not anything else. It's really mentality. It's what separates the profitable to the unprofitable trader. That's the only link and disconnect between those two. So let me look at ES. I want to see where ES wants to trade to. ES has the same relative equal lows, is just a little bit further in distance. So 51.23 on ES, but near sell side on ES would be 51.50. Ali, I'd love to say that, or I'd love to hear that. I used to take multiple trades every day and was blowing fun at accounts left and right. It is safe to say you changed my mentality and the way I look at the market. Thank you. I appreciate it. That is, again, that's the number one thing I want to hear from people. I don't really care about, oh, you helped me pass a challenge or whatever. It's, you changed my mindset. Because that's the thing that you walk away with it all is mindset, and then you can actually do something with it, right? Sherry, I appreciate it. Awesome to see you in here. If you are just tuning in, there's 600 in. If you can like the video, I appreciate it. Get it out there. Yeah, this is now Silver Bullet. I don't know what's going on with the whole time change thing. I guess it's different across the world, but at least in the U.S. it's changed. Yesterday it changed over. So about 30 minutes ago was the open. So, and we're just moving into the Silver Bullet. Damn it, Oki. Manual, that's ICT higher time frame candlestick indicator. Yeah, honestly, I didn't even know that was a thing where different countries and different continents of the world change at different times, but I've learned something new today. Now, what do you see me doing here? I'm just looking at order flow through different time frames, and I'm looking at closures, looking at how price is reacting. I've never paid attention to DST. How does that affect the macros? DST. I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I'm blanking on that, but if you could clarify. Yeah, I mean DXY. I talked about it yesterday. I do see that going lower. So there's going to be times where this contradicts, like NQ will move in sync with it. I know that's not the correlation or what you should be utilizing it as, but sometimes they do. And that's where it's difficult for students to understand how to utilize dollar index, but you have to be discerning and understand when that is useful versus not. Oh. Thank you, Zaso. Lucas, through time and experience. I mean, that's the same thing versus fair value gaps, order blocks. When is it useful? When is it high? I mean, it's time and experience. You have to spend time with it. You have to be like in an intimate relationship. You have to spend time with this. You can't just read a book, watch a video, and just know exactly. I mean, it just, again, all of this is like riding a bike or any skill set you learn. It's through time and experience. You don't go into a job and just learn within the first day how to do everything perfectly. I mean, it takes you time, right? And obviously the learning curve is a lot longer in trading. It may take you years to get it. And that's fine. It's normal. It took me multiple 4 or 5 years to get this. I mean, I'm on 6 years now, and I mean, the whole point is just to never give up. Keep going, keep pushing. That's all it really is. It sounds corny or whatever, but I mean, it's the truth. Noon? Yeah, I know, me too. Am I looking for a long? No. I would say that's incorrect, but gun to my head, I would look for 1876 to be traded to. Basasco? Yeah, I mean, that's why I place my stop loss where it needs to be. I mean, I could use that as a study, but more or less to me, when I enter in a fair value gap, sometimes the inversion is there in support, and it'll wick through my fair value gap, but it'll wick into the inversion. But again, I stay within my own framework. Like, I never deviate. My multiplier is fair value gap. I'm entering in the fair value gap. I'm not going to deviate. Fala? Yeah. Does YouTube incentivize you? I mean, they pay me very little. Joseph, what's the opinion on 3 PD array rule for stop loss placements? I think it's very good. Sometimes you can't have 3 PD arrays, so it's just you only can have one, and that's it. So it's situational. If I have 3 PD arrays where my stop loss meets the certain risk that I'm trying to, obviously gauge, and it's there, then I'll use that rule. But sometimes I can't. Like in this instance, like let's say I entered off of this fair value gap. I'm not gonna put it above the inversion and put it above the order. I mean, that's just way too much risk. Like, and to me, that'd be invalidated by then. Like, if I was entering into a position, it would be above this high there, above the second candle. Why am I not entering? Because I just particularly don't care. Like, you just become so attached at one point where you just don't really care. Like, I know for some people it sounds crazy, but Andreas, no. If you're a student of mine, and I hate saying that, we're all students of ICT, but if you've been attending these live streams and you care about learning, they'll never come in here and ask about trades and whether I took one or not. I know you may want to learn from them, but what that screams to me is, did I miss any signals? It's not the mindset you should be coming in here. Noon, awesome, love to hear it. Yeah, that book is fantastic. Excellent, yeah. Yeah, no, Andres. I get that question a lot from people who join late. Any trades? Any trades? What I miss? Like what? Yeah, I should have got an affiliate link for that book on Amazon, but I never did. So I've recommended that book so many times, and I mean that's only because it's changed my whole aspect and outlook on trading. Price of Prince of Pips? Yes. Nico, I mean, it's just time. I hope that you can lean on me. Like, do you see me caring? No. But yet, I still come out at every week, basically. The last 10 weeks, I've made 9 of them profitable. And you've seen me, how many times do you see me sit here and not care about missing moves? Like, I hope you can just lean on that and be like, anytime you feel that, be like, all right. Again, the thing you're wrestling with is, the thing that you're actually wrestling with is this a trade that I should be taking versus isn't? Like, and the way I'm able to discern that is, well, I'm just looking at the time of the week in my rule set. I'm paying attention to it. I'm looking at, it's the day before CPI rolling off of NFP on a Monday with no economic news driver events. Yes, I see the draw on liquidity. Yes, I see where I could enter. Yes, I see all of that. But I'm putting the significance of the things I just listed before above the draw on liquidity and entry patterns. I'm putting the significance above it. You're wrestling with the ideas. Well, should I enter? Is this a good time? Should I not? Should I? So you need to be able to lean on your rule set more than you lean on the entry pattern. You need to put the significance higher. Do we have? I see a business. Do we have a new week opening gap for this week, CJ? It's just one hurdle. Yes, we have a new week opening gap that's resting above here. So that's the new week opening gap. It's small in range, but it's still something that you can utilize. Prince of Pips, I will release it all on Friday. Red, yes. I mean, dive a little bit deeper into that, Nico. What else do you feel as if you're missing out on? Not just money. Do you feel as if you're missing out on something to boost your confidence, as if, you feel like you're doing this right to prove yourself? I mean, there's a lot of different emotions when you go into fear. It's not just money that you fear missing out. It could be fear missing out on your own confidence, your own, intelligence. Exactly, Tom. Do you have an LLC? Yeah. Exactly, Hawk. On to your second question is, since the order flow on higher time frame narrative, everything is telling me the order flow is bearish. I wouldn't be looking for a long setup. Just because you've swept sell side does not mean that's just going to go higher. If the narrative is bearish on higher time frames, if it's seeking lower prices, it does not matter if you have a bullish setup. It's going to run that over. So you have to understand that. And that's just where you have to draw the line in the sand. If something changed to where I was like, all right, like intraday, we may want to pop up higher and we may want to attack buy side, I would need a lot of evidence to do so. I would need a clear energetic displacement higher. I would need certain confirmations. When I'm trading against my bias, or I'm not my bias, when I'm trading against the overall narrative and the overall bias, then I have to really be sure of it. I really have to be like, all right, there has to be enough evidence in there for me to want to counter trade the narrative. So whenever I'm counter trading the narrative, I'm really careful. I'm really being particular and really rigid with my rules. If it's in sync with order flow, if everything's there, then I'm a little bit looser. It's a little bit easier for me to just get in the market. And that's why I teach about it, because A, it'll protect you. Like, if you just draw the line in the sand, all right, well, you're only picking one side today, and if the other side does not form, then you're not taking a loss on the other side potentially. Well, Nico, I would suggest getting another source of income. We talk about this all the time. Maybe social media has programmed a lot of you to believe that you can just YOLO it and burn the boats and let me just, go into trading is not like that. You can't just burn all your boats and just go into trading with no income and no like no way of living and rely on it. It impacts you psychologically so heavily. I mean, that's probably why you fear missing out on a trade like that. I don't. When you have money banked away and stored away, you don't fear missing out on moves because you don't need it to survive. It forces you into shitty setups, things you should be taking, and that's the ironic part of it. Is like when you have no money, you're forced into a corner and you have to trade, and then you take setups that you shouldn't be taking. Like that's the thing too, is like people don't understand is like they make some money and then they quit their job, from some prop firm account. It's like you're going to go through drawdown. You're going to go through periods of times, and it may be a couple months at a time throughout the year where you're in drawdown. And if you don't have another source of income, you're screwed. You have to have money stored away, banked away to be able to do this full time. And let alone if you have to get a part-time job to support, there's nothing wrong with that. Like to have that peace of mind when you come into trading is going to excel your performance rather than hurt you. People put down jobs so much. I don't get it. It's like it gives you that peace of mind to be like, all right, cool. Like I don't have to trade today. Where's my stop loss? It's on Mars. It's not on the chart. I mean, silent gamer. I appreciate it, but cool, man. I've been profitable every week for the last 9 weeks. So talk to my track record, buddy. It's fine, man. I swear this is like Vinny E Mini, like just coming in here and like again, these people are hilarious. Little worm. I honest, there's an ex-professional trader that applied to pass a challenge. Took him over 4 months to pass both challenges to get funded, but people expect they can make 10 to 15%. Exactly. I think the industry has psyoped a lot of people. I mean, in a regular investor's mindset, 10 to 15% a year is fantastic. Hey, check out DXY. Yeah, I mean, I went over it yesterday, Andreas, but I could pop over to it real quick. So we've popped up higher in here after taking sell side. The only thing we're inside of is the volume balance. If you go over to yesterday's review, the weekly forecast, you're able to see the full details and breakdown of what I was thinking and the explanation. I don't feel like going over it again. Well, it's funny when I say that. It's like, where is he at now? Like, go talk to my track record, my friend. Like, you can't. There's no way you can obviously counter that. What is the counter argument? Oh, you're profitable? Oh shit. Yeah, Rista, exactly. Good to see you in here. I know I haven't called out your name, but appreciate you. Silent game. That's all right, my friend. I mean, what? I wish the best for you. Well, Silent Gamer, I just don't. I'm not gonna sit here like again. I'm not gonna give you attention energy, but like it's just you don't pay attention to the days that I trade. I've traded for 10 weeks now. In 9 weeks, I've been profitable. I don't know where you're looking. Like you come in one session and see me talking. It's like, oh, exactly, Tom. Again, these people are like they like to draw energy. It's fun to them, which is fine. So if you look at that wick there, you could just mark out the C of it. Is that red line the low of last week? It is, yes. Relative equal lows resting here. Game with Yusuf, you probably have to have Trading View Pro, but you have to go over the templates and do two there. ES hasn't been that bad. Do you have multiple monitors? Yeah, I mean I have 4 monitors. SPX, to be honest, I don't pay attention to it. Yeah, Nico, but then again, you could just simply up your contract size. That's all it is. Used to have 3 monitors, yeah, now I have 4. I'll probably have like 10 at one point. What broker do I use? Rhythmic. Yeah, there's nothing I would have traded in here regardless. Andreas, I've never used it, so I don't know. I've heard it's great. Just do your research, my man. For the most part, every single futures broker and platform, and they're all great. It's really can't be shady with futures. Rodrigo, yeah, things are a lot hectic in 2020, a lot more hectic. And COVID was, damn it, I said the word. During that time, I mean, had elections that year as well, so things were very hectic. Yeah, there is. I just turned on my space heater. It's getting freezing in my room. I apologize. It is what it is. Vigo, no. At least as far as I know. Robbie, what's up, brother? I'm doing good. Thank you. I believe XNO, I don't know. There's certain words and things, you start talking about things. Okay, yeah, exactly. It's been very strange. What's going on? I mean, again, I'm aware of the idea of my rule set. I'm not going to be trading before CPI, so I mean, don't care what anybody else says. Yeah, isn't that funny? Like when you roll into half of the silver bullet at 9:30, it starts waking up directly at that time. So all of the, I mean, even though I was looking for lower prices. I didn't enter into anything, so it's not a loss to me. Again, we can sit here and say it. All I do is talk, but that's what keeps me profitable. What state do I live in? Illinois, Chicago. Moved ahead. From Chirac. I mean, I don't live in Chicago. And so, I mean, if you just look at the day so far, like, is this something where you could be extremely profitable in? Apparently to some you can. Apparently I'm just a terrible analyst. But what's the rule set? What would keep you out of doing that today? Well, as we discussed before, you have CPI ahead of you. You're rolling off NFP with Monday with no economic news driving events. I mean, it's a clear-cut rule set. Like, it's not ambiguous. It's not mysterious. It's pretty clear-cut. So what does that mean? Well, that means when you have those rule sets in those days, regardless of what entry pattern you have, regardless of the bias you have, it may not work out. It may not pan out to the way you're expecting it to. And I expect to be wrong on days like today. I expect to not actually do something that is in my favor on days like today. So best part is to sit out of it. Nico, just think about how you were feeling 30 minutes ago till now. I mean, if you didn't do anything, I mean, you went short here, stopped out. I mean, what you went short in here, you got what, short little scalp. I mean, there's days like today are what keep you profitable. I mean, I don't care what anybody else says. It's this type of environment. Have fun in it. Go play in the mud. Warm around in it. I'm not going to be doing it. I look at yes 1 minute. Yeah. Oh, look at that right now. What's your question? I mean, yeah, you could short term. I could see this short term trading and buy side. I mean, it could also do nothing. I think a lot of you forget about that option. That like price could do nothing. It could just range bound and do nothing. Could have a very large deep retracement like this. Everybody gets caught trying to reverse it, try to go long, and they get stopped out. It keeps going short. Like the probabilities are not there. Yeah, the time changed. I'm not sure what. Like, it's crazy how many questions I've got over that today. Herman, I mean, in a better probability type of day environment, yeah, but not today. No. Tomorrow full port. I'm sure a lot of people will be full port in their challenge accounts on CPI. I mean, think about how many people are just trying to do anything they can in here. Like, what is the smartest move on the chessboard? Do nothing currently. Yeah, I would have shorted there. Yeah, I would have went long down here. Sure, you would have. And hindsight is a joke. It will influence you to think that you can be doing a whole lot more than you're never going to end up doing. Yeah, exactly. That's accidental. I mean, that's the reason why I don't trade before CPI. For the majority, 90% of the time, I'm not trading before CPI. I understand the profile. I understand what we've talked about, and I mentioned it 100 times already. But it's already set up as a low probability profile day. So like when you come into it and you start seeing entry patterns, you have all these emotions. Oh, I'm gonna miss this move. It's like it's supposed to do that to you. It's supposed to make you feel that way. Herman, I understand that social media is a clown show of fake influencers that, like, I want you all to understand and think for a second. I could easily go into Photoshop if I really wanted to. I know some of your favorite influencers out there. You trust them with all your life. You know how easy it is to fake entries and exits and even taking 10 losses before you post that winner on Twitter? Like, you really have to think with your head, man. I can't fake any of this. I'm on live stream doing it. Like, this reason I don't understand why I get hate, but people are going to troll no matter what. Like, I'm the last person you should be trying to troll. Exactly, auto trade. I mean, Zeus, the only dude that posts, he only posts winning setups. It's like, obviously you take losses, dude. It's such a weird way to influence people. What do you think about? What do you say about last week compared to the week before that and the week before? I mean, it's every week's a good week. I mean, CJ, what do you think of this to trade new? I made another account to put small money in. Muhammad, I mean, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. What I consider seek and destroy, yeah, and just consolidation. Um, when you're in type of these environments, I mean, what is the best option? The best option is to do nothing. We've talked about this, and all the times this is where I get the most trolls and most comments is in these type of environments. But they're not here on days where I'm taking trades and I'm profitable by the end of the week, every single week. But in days like this where I'm just doing nothing, yeah, it's boring. This is how the reality of trading is. For those who don't really know, I mean, this is the reality of it. I'm not going to be doing something inside of this environment. I don't find it favorable. I don't find it high probability, so I sit still. The likelihood of me being correct in this is very low. And if that means I'm a bad analyst, then so be it. Oh no, I missed the long setup in here. Oh boy. Yeah, I do, but for the most part, I mean, there's a really good quote. Don't chase two rabbits at once. Like, put all your focus into one income stream, one thing that's going to set you free, and then obviously take all that money once you have that consistency and place that somewhere else. I mean, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but I think if you're trying to chase real estate, you're trying to chase other things plus trading, I mean, your attention and energy is everywhere. Try to focus it all on this, become successful at this, take all your money and then divvy it up into different things that, obviously will pay you over long term, like residual income, things where you don't necessarily have to show up every day and work for. Like that's such a great question because that's in and of itself, you're already telling yourself it's a low probability entry, right? Like it's a low probability day, but there's an entry pattern. It's all low probability. Regardless if it works out, I don't deem that as something where I'm like, damn, I missed it. Like I don't view it like that. Now for me. Yeah, I know. I said I don't get upset over it. Jabbers, that's fantastic. It's a great goal to have. Chicken salad. Oh, that sounds great. What are the low probability days? I mean, there's so many templates for that. But I mean, just one of them is happening today where, again, you're rolling off of NFP, coming into a Monday with no economic news driver events. The day before CPI, the day before major news event drivers are typically low probability. Why? Because more than likely it's going to be engineering liquidity. It's going to be doing something that is not, it's waiting for that release, right? So I'm not going to be inside of an environment where it's already deemed low probability, regardless of a model prints. And regardless if I miss it, quotation, I don't care. You have the whole week ahead of you. And even Monday of itself, I don't deem as something that I'm like, wow, I really want to trade Monday. Like, I have the whole week ahead of me. I'm not trying to lose capital. I'm not trying to spend mental capital on a Monday, especially when the conditions are already deemed low probability. And again, if you feel a type of emotion about that, I mean, there's something wrong with that. You either just have to mature and obviously stick through it long enough to be like, yeah, like I see why it's not high probability. And that's either through losses or learning through somebody else's experience. Or just tape reading and seeing, yeah, like if I was inside of it today, I probably would have made a lot of mistakes. I would have lost a lot of money. You journal that and you say, all right, well, these type of days I've seen that really don't pan out too well. I shouldn't be trading in it. ICT not on leaderboard. I particularly don't. That is the last concern of my mind throughout the day. I don't even think about it one time. So many people are concerned about what ICT is doing, but not concerned with themselves. Tom, not really. I mean, I probably should, knowing my skill set, but more or less, I mean, real estate's going to be my main thing once I kind of venture off from this. I mean, real estate to me, I wouldn't want to be, regardless if I had all the amount of money in the world, I probably wouldn't even be investing in it currently. I'd be waiting for some type of collapse in it. The same way it's like if you look at anything you're trying to invest into, it's like you want to be buying when everybody's fearful, when everybody's scared and everybody's in a panic and chaos. There's always opportunity in chaos. Like that's when we have another collapse of whatever it is, that's when you need to be buying. That's when I need to be inside and be like, all right, give me this real estate, give me that property, give me this. That's when you're buying at all-time lows. But everybody's so fearful, they don't know what to do. Robin's Cup, I mean, I don't really have any inclination to do it, to be honest with you. I get what you're saying, Julian, but I don't think people know the math of what, like he's discussed the math behind it. It could literally take him like a month to do a huge percent. Like it's just people can't fathom that. They can't understand that what he's able to do. I've seen what he can do. It's not, if you're able to trade on a seconds chart, even in this condition, I believe he could probably be profitable. Like me, no. Exactly, Nico. I mean, the dude, once he gets up there and once he starts moving, I mean, I'm sure he's also dealing with a wife that has a mother that's in the hospital dying of cancer. Like, there's real life shit going on. It's like trading is not his whole life. Julian, I don't have a banana day. Maybe that's why. What's a banana day? Excuse me. I'd love to hear that. I mean, again, objectively, if you look at this environment, regardless of what you trade in, would this be something that you're like, damn, that's a really beautiful day today. I'm really pissed off I missed that. Really mad I missed all these moves. No. The superpower and the skill set is to be able to know this is going to unfold before it even happens, to sit through the environment and not even do anything. When you reach that point, you're getting somewhere. But if you've taken multiple trades inside this condition, you got stopped out many times. Trust me, I've done it many times. You're still learning, which is fine. But to me, it's why would I want to be doing that? Austin, I mean, I try to get as much protein as my body weight. I mean, I'm about 220, so I try to get 220. Be honest, I'm the last person you should ask about macros or diet. I mean, I hate to say, I'm kind of a genetic freak. I mean, I've worked out for 10 years, but as far as like diet and stuff, I eat fairly whatever I want. But I also work out 7 days a week, so there's pros and cons to it. Okay, yeah, I mean, this I usually do like this week, or let's look at last week. Like I'll do 5 days on, and like the 2 other days I'm either doing some type of like low cardio with like the sauna. So like I still count those as days I'm working out. I'm not like doing, a specific workout, but I'm like yesterday, like I walked 2 miles on like a high speed incline, do sauna. Like I'm doing something, right? Like I don't know. Rest days to me, like I do it more or less for mentally, like to feel good. I just feel slow, lethargic. I can't think when I don't work out. I do cardio. I mean, yes and no. Like I'll walk, I'll sauna, but I'm not like out there running. I think people that do ultra marathons and run all the time, I mean, it's hard to put on muscle mass when you're doing that, especially if you want to look like a built person. You're running all the time. That's pretty difficult. I'm not saying running's bad, but yeah, we're inside of the end of the silver bullet macro. I'm just going to be observing it. I don't care what happens. And guess what? I'm sure by Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll take a trade, and everybody's going to go, oh, great, that was awesome. Same as we did last week, the week before that, the week before that, the week before that. Silent Gamer's back after he got stopped out 18 times. Yeah, exactly, Tom. Yeah, sure you have. Yeah, exactly. No stop outs for you. You never get stopped out, right? No losses for you. So yeah, obviously we're going for the buy side. It's not like a hard thing to see. Do I see missing out on that as a bad thing? No. Again, people are going to have their opinions. If I sat over your shoulder every day and told you how to trade, you'd be like, bro, what? Right, Flatwood. Well, Silent Gamer, you have to understand. If you start talking shit, you have to be able to take that back. Like, I'm sure you're a fine dude, man. Just, I'm not gonna say anymore. So see if price wants to reach up into relative equal highs there. Exactly, okay. This is hilarious. Yeah, so on ES I would observe 5182, and then obviously on NQ I'd be observing 18305. So it's partially filling in the RTH gap there as well. Yeah, I'll show you how easy it is. I could go after this and I could put execution labels on as if I took a trade today, and I could, like, I would love to do that. I had thought of this experiment over the weekend where, like, I do how should I put this? Basically an experiment really where I could fake all my entries and make them as if they're real, and you would have no idea. And I would be a great study for a lot of people to be like, wow, I didn't realize how easy it is to fake a lot of stuff. Accidental. About an hour from now. I mean, I'll probably be down in Florida this year, so I mean, if you're still in Miami, I would love to link. I believe that's where you said X. I don't know where you're from. Program. All right. Have a good rest of your day. Talking about how that works and stuff. I'm trying to get up here. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Oh, you don't live in the U.S.? Yeah, that's right. You're on holiday. What was I gonna say? Don't get me wrong. I mean, love to have beers as well. Just gotta limit yourself. Well, that's my personal advice is if you have to trade index or like indices, like a CFD, use Nasdaq like NQ, like this contract to analyze, and then trade US 100. I mean, the price feed you have to match it. Gonna be a there is gonna be a difference because each broker has a different feed, so it's a little bit difficult. Muhammad, I've discussed this many times. I even discussed it yesterday. There's plenty of criteria to it. Vince, love to hear it. Yeah, and I suggest going back. Like, don't just judge me off of 3 days. Go back to the last 3 months. That's even just for me. Teach about skepticism and not falling into belief after a few days of listening to somebody. Like, go back and really look at what I've done. Even for the people, the trolls in the chat. I mean, it's hard to speak against a track record. It really is, especially when you're live trading doing it. I mean, it's just the truth. It's the reason why I do it. Then again, there's people that no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how much evidence, same with ICT, it's just they'll never believe it. So it's like it's a waste of breath. About 9 minutes left of the macro of the end of the silver bullet. Inefficiency there. Vince, okay, I gotcha. Wazy, what's up, brother? I'm gonna miss your yours. I might hit you up, bro. I'll send you a DM. Casper, what's up, brother? Late today. Alright, Wazy, I will. I'm feeling very good today. Just tape reading today. More or less, I mean. I want to see how tomorrow plays out with CPI. See what we can get with CPI tomorrow. So many, thank you, Justin. I gotcha. Yeah, I know the time change has been crazy today for a lot of people. I think some people are probably looking at this like, why are you not going long? Why are you not pressing the button? They just don't care, man. If it flies to buy side, exactly what I was thinking. Guess what? I'm very confident within myself and my system that throughout the week, probably going to have a setup that I favor. Exactly, Wazy. Oh, no, it moved. Oh. I think somebody mentioned earlier. Yes, it's down close candle there. But what is price currently kind of seeking and doing? Well, remember the RTH gap here? We aligned it earlier. It's aligned with the buy side, so that's a better confluence. When you have a draw on liquidity, RTH gap is there. It's a better draw on liquidity for you. Let's see if ES wants, 51.82 seems likely. Caddy pan? Yeah, I would believe so. Next, yeah, no, I'm strictly within the silver bullet. I've narrowed it down now. I used to dabble in PM at times, the silver bullet, but the lower the frequency amount of times you participate within the market, less chance you have of, risking your own capital, risking your mental capital inside of the market. So I think for a newer student, it's hard, I get it, to only want to trade one session, especially if you didn't find anything with the AM. It's like, you want to pass your challenge, you want to do whatever. It's hard to create that discipline, but in the rigid rules, but trust me, it pays out. Look at last week. I took one trade, 50 handles. That paid more than 90% of other people doing. The week before that, I took 3 trades, profitable. The week before that, I think it was 3 trades, profitable. The week before that, like, go on and on. I'm only going to sit on here for another 4 minutes. I want to end at the silver bullet macro. Really want to see if ES wants to trade to 51.82. Is it just US 100 cash, or we have a 15-minute FEG over the buy side? Are you talking about this here? Take a look at GU, bro. Just took a long. I'm not going to do that. Uh, 51.82. That could be Friday's high on ES, but I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm just tape reading, so anything I say, it's like, again, think about the people that are trying to push in here. I know these environments. I know what these things typically do. Like, people are trying to push inside of these environments, and they end up getting stopped out. Like, I'm not getting influenced by trolls. I'm not getting influenced by people that telling me, I don't trade, because I understand my rule set like the back of my hand. Could very well trade off and want to run for sell side. I don't know. It's a very seek and destroy consolidational profile. It's not a clear trending one-sided type of day. So why would I want to be inside of this pushing? And this is where it's very easy as an influencer. Like, you could take a loss on this, and let's say I took another long in here, and it works out. I could just show that long. But then you didn't see the loss here. You didn't see me trying to go short here, here, long there. Like, I could very easily see how many entries I could have tried to pick off today. And great, if I got one off today, great. But to me, the best option is to do nothing. I know it's boring. I know it sucks. I know it's repetitive. I know it's over and over again. But it's what the markets are. They're repetitive. They're boring. It's not glamorous lifestyle as we all think. Yeah, Tony, I don't trade foreign exchange. I'm very well aware of GU. G-Chat. LOL. PJs and Lambos, baby. That's the life. Noon? Exactly. Love to hear it. Looking forward to the Black Swan event in Forex. Yeah, that should be interesting, man. I'm curious to see what really plays out. I mean, I love Forex, man. Don't get me wrong. I've traded it for many years. It's my first love. It's just, I don't know what's going to happen with currencies, to be honest. Fiat money. I wouldn't want to be inside of something where you're in an unregulated broker. You sign some type of agreement where if your account goes into negative, you got to pay that back, and then you have a lawsuit on your hand. Some shit like that. Black Swan event unfolds, boom, take it out negatively. Stop loss opens up a spread. I know your time is silver bullet, but is there a particular video or stream where you laid out exactly what you're looking for in your model? Austin, it's a good question. I mean, I have a video over my models, but I think more or less throughout live streams, throughout everything that I go over, daily logs, like I can't put it into one video. It's impossible for me. So I have to lay it out over a long period of time. That's really the only way you're able to learn. That's why ICT teaches the way he does, because I can't lay it out in one video. I mean, I can give you an idea, but to really get a full understanding, a full idea of what I look for, what I'm doing, it takes multiple weeks and months to sit with me to be like, all right, now I get it. Jabber's curious how much time you spent on the charts. I think Jade said he works almost every day looking at the charts and never really ends. I mean, this is the only time I really look at the charts. Like, and then I'll sit down at night and I'll review it. You don't need to be doing that. I don't think Jade Cap does that. I think he probably mistakenly. I mean, I don't think he does that. Tibby, have a good day. CG, BMW, Mercedes, or Dodge? Chevy. So think about all the people. I mean, we're pushing for longs here. Pushing for longs and stopped out. And you wonder why I deem these lower probability days. You wonder why I think that, in my head, I'm like, I'm probably not going to get this right. I'm not going to do it. So even though at the moment of time, like, yeah, I could see from this fair value gap, I could see how we could expand in a buy side. I just understand these conditions are probably not going to be favorable for me. They're probably not going to work out. So a little tip of advice, silent trader, silent gamer, if you're still in here. I mean, take some advice from me, man, because I'm pretty sure that position's probably not working out too well for you. And I'm not trying to be rude. Just take some advice, man. It'll help you. That's a crazy question, Sire. What? Neither. Yeah, I do. I mean, again, I can't. It's a fallacy to believe that I can put things into a one lecture lesson into a PDF file. It's impossible for me to do so. It's really is. I mean, I can give again ideas and things that you could look for and I look for, but you really get your full understanding sitting with somebody live. It's the reason why I do it, and I'm sure those have been here. You understand why I say that, because it really is. It's like the only way to really learn. Lazy, great question. You always ask great questions, man. That your mentality, your body and your mentality are linked together. Your physicality and mentality are linked together. So that's why I talk about working out and being very rigid on working out, because it links to your mentality. Especially if you push yourself during working out. Like, let's say, even running. Running is very difficult. I don't really run a lot, but it is very difficult, right? So when you start to move past points in your head, when you start thinking like, man, I can't keep going, this is so hard, and you keep going on that, you keep moving past that, even in times is a really good tip when you're having a lot of adversity in trading, work out so damn hard, so difficultly to where like you're moving past adversity points that you thought you couldn't even get to. Running is the easy way. Like let's say, you could never think of running 5 miles. Try to push yourself to do it. And once you do it, you're like, all right, cool. Like that was a lot of adversity. I was able to go through it. Same thing with trading is you're able to push yourself through certain adversity points. Your mentality and physicality are very closely linked. You have to be able to have both of them. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So like the way you act in life, the way you move, it's going to come out to you in trading very much. Ricardo, I'll release it Friday. Overlaid shirt, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So that was the end of Super Bowl. I know I'm going a little bit longer than I thought, but I mean, it's the last week publicly, so I'll try to sit with all of you who won't be here. I appreciate the time. Do you value the 1 minute over the 1 to 5? I mean, that's a good question. If you have them layered, if you have a 5 minute within a 1 minute, that's a better probability. It's a nested fair value gap, right? It's the same thing from higher to lower time frame. You have a higher, let's say a weekly fair value gap, then you can refine it to a daily, a 4 hour, 1 hour. That creates it as it's a nested PD array, so it's higher probability. Not always. You have to work with the narrative and time and frameworks, but yes. Since that last fair value gap, move 50 handles. I don't know. There's so many. We have like 50 on here right now. I mean, from here to here, yeah, it's moving a lot. Like even though we're on a 1 minute time frame, it's a small range. I mean, it's a huge range right now. That's why the risk is really elevated, especially in these conditions. Like imagine how many entries you could have got stopped out on, and you're just trying to trade everything. All right, Justin, I'll see you later. Exactly, Tom. Kobe said this amazing quote. Rest in peace. He said, "The dream is not the money and the glamorous lifestyle. The dream is waking up every single day at 6 in the morning and working your ass off. That's the ultimate dream. That's actually what the reality of a dream or the thing that you're seeking. That's what it is. For me, it's every day waking up early, doing my routine, prepping, going into the session. That's the dream. That's actually what it is. It's not making a whole bunch of money and having Lambos and having a house. Like this is the dream. This is what it is. Even for him, I mean, the dream for him was going into the court hours before the game, hours before practice, and he was working his ass off more than everybody else. Study Kobe, man. His mentality is insane. I mean, he is rest in peace. He was a goat, man. Shahir, all right. We'll appreciate it. Vago, appreciate it. Kobe, Kobe. Kobe Bryant. Rodrigo, of course. Yeah, it's last week. So if you got any questions, got anything in particular, I'll answer it. I'm probably going to sit on here for another 5 minutes. But hopefully you're able to learn today. Like usual, if you sat through a few of these conditions with me, you've learned why they're low probability. It never changes. Like this does never catches me off guard, without a doubt. The only run in here that I could have seen, even as a decent run, was this in here. Do I feel any type of way about missing it? No, because that's saying that you were able to pick this particular setup out of everything else that day. I mean, that's the chances of you doing that is very low, even for myself. Everything else you probably would have been stopped out on. Like, it's just the reality of it. Accidental. Have a good lift, my friend. Yeah, I know. I got to get off here soon. Yes, Kobe, David Goggins, Eric Thomas. I mean, Andrew Tate, much as he's controversial, I think his motivation and things he says are very great. Like, we talk about mentality, we talk about depression and anxiety, and we talk about all the things. Especially as a man, I can't relate to a woman. But as a man, I don't put emphasis on being happy. I know for some people that's a huge emphasis in their life. But I think if you focus on trying to be happy, you actually, ironically, end up being unhappy. If you try to always be happy, you're always going to be trying to chase things that make you happy. As a man, I just focus on being proud of myself. I do things that make me proud. So I don't care how I feel. Like, I don't want to go to the gym today. I don't want to be on the session today. I just do things regardless of how I'm feeling. And I end up being proud of myself, of my achievements, and it actually ends up ironically making me happy. I think that's a fallacy to chase happiness. It's a never-ending fleet. You're going to be unhappy. You have to be, I'm okay. When you're sad and you're upset, I mean, it's fine. Sit with the idea. And how does that relate to trading? I mean, it relates to it in many ways. That's the reason why I'm talking about it. Yes, Stock Hero. I'll do a whole live stream over it. Kobe or MJ? To be honest with you, I'm not a huge basketball fan, so I don't really have an opinion on it. It's just as far as motivation, Kobe was the person I listened to the most. Exactly, Tom. I mean, I just strive to 1% better, focus on the day, and do what you can do best. I mean, sounds corny, whatever, but it is the truth. If you chase happiness, you end up chasing drugs and things that are bad. Stock Hero, yeah, I mean, I'm making it affordable for the majority of people. Like, it's crypto. Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not the best with it, but I try my absolute best. Like, I'm not going to get into the whole discussion here, but yes, I'm a believer. Is it wrong to look for sells after price took buy side and bias is bearish? I mean, it's not wrong, but again, you have to look at the conditions. Like, if you just looked at that bullish side and how price at one point, you may have been looking at higher prices and then it failed. It's like, it may fail on the bear side. I don't know. Like, those type of conditions, these type of conditions, I'm likely to get it wrong. Fucking facts. When you force it, you make it worse on yourself instead of focusing on the small things, letting the happiness flow organically. Exactly. What are the books you read and would recommend mentality-wise? Atomic Habits, The Power of Now. There's a few other ones that I read. I'm not huge into reading a lot of books anymore. Sometimes it's like a mental masturbation, as people they read a bunch of self-help books and they never get anywhere. They never do any work. Reading a bunch of books and not putting it into work, putting it into, into action, it's not doing anything for you. Rich Dad Poor Dad, I've read that. There's another one. Man, I'm forgetting his name. I read it a while back. There's so many great books out there. I'm not saying reading's bad. They are great. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be it. I've stayed on here longer than I really anticipated, and I hope you guys learned something today. I hope it was insightful. I hope you're able to learn the conditions that you should be sitting out of. You shouldn't feel any type of emotions about missing something. To me, these type of days are what's going to make you profitable. Being able to sit out of them, being able to predict them before they even unfold, not being influenced by them. They're very, very, very key to your development as a trader. So, appreciate all you guys. Hopefully, at the end of the week, I will see most of you inside of the other group. So, we'll see. Again, I'll release all of the information on Friday, so don't worry. All right. Till then, have a good rest of your day, everybody. Peace.